Cheerleading, one of the world's most dangerous sports that many nations love to take part in. As most sports include, there is a lot, and I mean a heck of a lot, of work involved in perfecting these routines. With this video, oh wow, that was cool. I'm going to show you some of what happens behind the scenes in perfecting these routines. That rhymed. Now, please keep in mind that these guys are on a college team, so they are not as hardcore as some of those all-star teams. They actually have lives and enjoy sleeping. Hello everyone, my name is Zach Wichardi, and I'm your unofficial cheerleader for the day. Due to this hard work, Brittany researched about anxiety behind sports and how college students react to this anxiety, specifically the Juniata College cheerleaders. According to Medical News Today, anxiety is defined as a general term for several disorders that cause nervousness, fear, apprehension, and worrying. These disorders affect how we feel and behave, and they can manifest real physical symptoms. At this moment, the girls are worried about stunts in the competition and the stunts for the first game. So everyone is excited and anxious and reflects several nonverbal cues to show us. When in sports, both student athletes and coaches alike acquire something known as sports performance anxiety. According to research conducted by Smith, Small, and Cumming from the University of Washington, sports performance trait anxiety is a predisposition to appraise sports situations in which athletic performance can be evaluated as threatening and to respond to state anxiety reactions of varying intensity. These reactions include high levels of autonomic arousal, worry, and self-oriented cognitions that can disrupt attention process and other cognitive functions. I mean, who wouldn't be anxious when you're standing on top of other people? I mean, really. More research conducted concludes that performance anxiety can have deleterious effects on performance, enjoyment of sports participation, and physical well-being in both adults and children. Performance anxiety causes stress, and stress causes anger. As the quote mentioned, anxiety caused a loss of enjoyment of sports participation. As the season has ended, I can tell you now that the effects are true. Many girls do not like the sport anymore due to the frustration and anxiety they received during the season. While learning a new routine or stunt, several instances occur that pile up the anxiety. Waiting for a new stunt can feel like death at times, so self-adapters help to ease the anxiety and synchrony, bringing the girls back into their comfort zones. Because there are a lot of girls on this team, not everybody can include it in every stunt. This allows for a crap ton of waiting, especially when coaches and captains are trying to figure out how to perfect this stunt so no one gets hurt. Waiting anxiety occurs because people want to get started. According to Meister, occupied time feels shorter than unoccupied time, which is why when girls are waiting, this isn't just about girls, but these are my examples, they feel like their time is being wasted. They also go and check their phones during every break, and we get to keep track of how much time is going by. The activity provided to fill time should A, offer benefit in and of itself, and B, be related in some way to the following service encounter. When the time is not used, anxiety settles in, and the girls begin to get bored. Look at the example here, as the girls stand around and look angry as they are not included in anything. This is not because we don't like them, they just have nothing to do right now. I don't like her, but that's just me. As I mentioned before, there are a lot of people on the team this year, and a lot of them are freshmen. Unfortunately, a lot of upperclassmen cannot be used in some stunts because most are flyers or top girls. This also causes anxiety because they feel they should be used more as they were here first. Meister states that one of the most frequent irritants mentioned by customers of restaurants is the prior seating of those who have arrived after them. For cheerleaders, the upperclassmen feel that they should have the first choice as they have been here longer than all the others. Meister also states that the anxiety comes from the feeling of being forgotten. Look at this example here. A few upperclassmen look irritated as they are not included in the stunt. And this example, when they have their hands on their hips. This is known as closed body language. When a person is holding themselves, a closed position may indicate self-nurturing. The person is effectively holding or hugging themselves in an imitation of a parent or caring person. This brings us to our next point of what happens when the girls get anxious. When girls are bored, they tend to do something known as self-adapters or manipulators. According to Ekman, a manipulator is when one part of the body grooms, massages, rubs, holds, pinches, picks, scratches, or otherwise manipulates another. Self-touching involves rubbing, scratching, caressing, grooming, sniffling, sneezing, coughing, aching, fever, best sleep you ever got with a cold, medicine, one's body, or its adornments. Look at the example here as the girls begin to shift as they wait for their next instructions. See as the girl in pink continuously brings her arm back together and scratches her nose. These are all called self-adapters or manipulators. Ekman states that scientists have reasonably well sustained the layman's belief that people fidget, make restless movements, when they are ill at ease or nervous. These nerves are brought on by frustration and anxiety through the practice. These skills are going to be used for the first game in our competition. If these stunts do not hit, the girls will begin to get angry. McNeil states that gestures are not just arms waving in the air, but symbols that exhibit meaning in their own right. These are self-adapters that are used to cope with anxiety. This self-touching, or as Brittany has written, this self-touching results in sensory stimulation and is hypothesized to relieve self or bodily needs. Notice here, as the girl in the blue Juniata college shirt uses self-adapters to comfort her after she speaks out in front of the group.
What we did last year was on the thing, we wanted to be go blue, so that one would be go gold.
In this case, she uses her shirt as a manipulator and readjusts it after she speaks. Self-touching is an outward manifestation of underlying negative effect, or felt states of anxiety. And this brings us to synchrony. For comfort from the anxiety, the girls fall back into their friend groups. As the girls go to leave for the day, you may notice how some of the girls synchronize their steps. It is not a surprise that any team will have cliques. Can you tell which girls here are in a specific friend group by the video? Yep, they walk alike, talk alike, dress alike. Notice here as friend groups both sync up as they walk away. Behavior matching is when people mimic behavior patterns by adopting similar postures or showing similar body configurations. Synchronous body movement is a manifestation of rapport and ultimately relationship quality. Thanks to Webster Dictionary, we know that rapport is a close and harmonious relationship in which the people or groups concerned understand each other's feelings or ideas and communicate well. There is also another form of synchrony that is called the chameleon effect. The chameleon effect refers to the non-conscious mimicry of postures, mannerisms, facial expressions, and other behaviors of one's interaction partners, such as one's behavior passively or unintentionally changes to match that of the other one's current social environment. Look here as girls on the ground match what the flyer is doing.
1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. Turn 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. Hit 1.
Chartrand and Barr state that it is a common experience to discover, after the fact, that one has taken on an accent, speech patterns, or even behavioral mannerisms of one's interaction partner. In this case, the interaction partners are referring to their friends. It is nice after a long, hard practice to sit down at dinner and just catch up with friends in a group. Don't get me wrong, I love practice, but it's nice to see the girls not so stressed out once in a while. The girls handle all the anxiety brought in by practice with various nonverbal methods, as this video is covered. The next time you look at cheerleading, keep in mind the grueling work it takes to actually pull off a routine or stunt. It may look easy, but we learn to make it look like that from experience. Believe me, injuries are not fun. Thank you for having me. The end.